Cybertruck. If you don't know, I'm in education. I'm also in transportation. So this ties to driving. This ties to driver's education. This ties to self-driving vehicles. There's a lot to unpack. The initial high cost of technology required for autonomous driving can be very expensive and potentially limiting accessibility. I'm from metro areas, and a lot of times this technology does not come to the communities that really need it, minorities. I'm a minority and I'm proud of that fact. We need to have a cost-effective Cybertruck and autonomous technology that can fit the masses of people. Next, there are ethical decisions. Programming vehicles to make ethical decisions in emergency situations raises moral and philosophical questions. There's an old man walking across the street. There's a family walking across the street. There's a young teenager walking across the street. There is a preteen walking across the street. The Cybertruck has to make contact with someone. Someone will die. Who makes this decision? We do not want to put that ethical decision in the hands of a computer. That is not right. RIGHT. Next, limit autonomous in certain driving environments. Self-driving vehicles may struggle in complex urban environments. Downtown Detroit, downtown Houston, downtown LA, downtown Atlanta, Georgia. These vehicles will be driving around and encountering millions of people walking between cars, and the weather in certain situations. Infrastructure compatibility. Our infrastructure is way behind in 2024 and beyond in terms of installing proper systems in place to prevent system failures, such as in California several years ago. Electric vehicles need sufficient energy, and on long journeys may require a challenge. We want to remove REMOVE. We want to remove challenges from people. We want them to be successful. We want them to be able to travel freely. When we're in an electric autonomous Cybertruck, that mobility and challenges are limited. It's limited to your range. It's limited to the terrain that you're going on. Public perception is mixed. I love technology. I try to be innovative. I try to educate my drivers. Several years ago, we had a training course on autonomy in electric vehicles in driver's education. I was prepared for this several years ago, prior to the Cybertruck hitting. Now it's here, and people are losing their minds. Building trust is very important. Building public trust in autonomous technology still remains a significant challenge. We don't see a lot of consumers running to a Tesla dealer to sign up for the Cybertruck. There's still plenty of alternatives out there that are worthwhile, that are practical. And in some cases, if you're a low-income or middle-income person, you can't afford the Cybertruck. So we need to develop an affordable alternative that still has the autonomy, that still has the safety, and that can still teach the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of young drivers who want to learn how to drive. Maintenance and repairs. We've all seen the videos of the Teslas of 2010, 2009, 2012 that have mystery battery. If you pick the wrong Tesla, or if you buy it for an unscrupulous dealer, you're going to be stuck with the bill of $10,000 to $16,000 to replace that battery. And you have to be buyer beware. I love Teslas. There are millions of people that do. But if you find a used one on the market, you need to do your homework. HOME, work. WORK. You have to do your homework, because you could buy a vehicle that has a bad charging history and you can end up spending money to repair that battery. Maintenance is important. The brakes, the tires require an autonomous system. And because of the Tesla's proprietary system, we're not allowed to integrate into that system unless you have the knowledge and resource. There's lack of standardization, meaning a lack of standardized communication protocols and systems access from different manufacturers can hinder inter-proprietary connections. When you drive, I need to be able to report to my next instructor the things that the vehicle needs, the things that my driver needs. Autonomous vehicles are coming. They're coming down to every single level: school buses, passenger cars, driver's ed cars. We need to be ready and be educated to have a powerful platform to communicate the issues, and a central database will be helpful. What about the educational and environmental impact? The production and disposal of electric and autonomous vehicles may have an environmental consequence. It will. Traditional vehicles can be smashed, recycled. We can pull the batteries out, the precious metals out. In these electric vehicles, it's much more difficult. Thank you. I will check it. We need to be able to work together to find a usable platform for these autonomous vehicles in terms of general transportation, in terms of driver's education. I would love to have an autonomous vehicle, but I'm at the training level. I need to be able to reach people who can learn how to drive. We might have to turn that autonomous feature off and get my student in that vehicle, turn all sensors off, OFF, and have them work on turns and have them spot dangers. And as people grow, I will turn those features on. I will enable those features. Adaptation to unpredictable situations. That's driver's education. That's real life driving. The environment always is unpredictable. Downtown driving, unpredictable. Driving in the country, unpredictable. Driving to work, to the laboratory in the morning, unpredictable. Driving in rush hour, in the rain or snow, unpredictable. These systems need to learn the unpredictable situations as we drive. We already have the best computer system, and that is our brain. And I'm trying to teach beginners how to identify those potentially dangerous situations. Autonomous systems may struggle with unpredictable events that human drivers can handle more flexibly. That's what I'm talking about. I have had a database of information to give you. You're learning from me because I'm a driver's ed instructor, and I have 23 years of experience, and I'm integrating technology, autonomous technology, computer technology, to level up the playing field to help the general person. That's a true leader. Discrepancy on infrastructure. Self-driving vehicles may heavily rely on infrastructure like GPS, which can vulnerably have and lead to errors. In your mind, as you get older, you do have errors. It's called Alzheimer's. Okay? Thank you, Tony. And as we get older, we do forget. We forget how to drive home. D-R-I-V-E, home, H-O-M-E. And I can see an autonomous vehicle helping grandma, grandpa, limited features. Okay, I saw grandma struggling in the car. I'm going to push the button. My autonomous vehicle will get grandma home safely. We'll get grandpa home safely. I think there needs to be a way to scale this technology to help the needs of the general public. Why not retrofit some of that adaptive technology into cars? That early 2000s, that early 2010. Some of this technology can be adapted and modified in cars. There are people out there like you and me who want technology. We can't afford a Tesla-like car, but we can afford a portion of the technology. I'm all for that. And if any of you are listening, reach out to me. Limited autonomy in remote areas. I was just talking about that. Grandma doesn't need adaptive cruise control. Grandpa doesn't need lane keep assist. If grandma or grandpa, and we could be on our phone, grandpa just fell out at the steering wheel. We see that, we push the button, we get them home. That's a whole nother conversation about getting our elderly mom and dad out of the vehicle. And trust me, they're going to fight you. No one wants to give up their driving rights. Pedestrian and cyclist recognition. I was just talking about this. Ensure the safety of pedestrians and cyclists in various situations. Example, if the autonomous vehicle is coming up to an intersection to make a left turn, the cameras are on over the top, to the sides, peripheral vision. They scanned it, but the sensor was dirty to the left. And the autonomous vehicle is making a left turn, but we as the human look, that is the left cross where we ran over someone. And what if the autonomous vehicle runs it over? A life is done. Who pays for that? Does Elon have a fund? Does the metro area have a fund? There are going to be people killed. Elon said this, prior to the technology maturing, we're going to have death. We've heard of people walking between cars getting ran over by an autonomous vehicle. We've heard of people sleeping in the car, setting it on autopilot, and they crash into something. There has to be provisions for this to stop. Okay, we can't have total autonomous. There needs to be some type of camera in the car to be connected to your loved one, your son, your daughter, or a central database. Okay, this person is taking advantage of the autonomous vehicle capabilities. We need to cut that off. I'm not for micromanaging this. I want you to know this. I'm not for micromanaging this, but a lot of people will abuse that autonomous feature and put themselves in danger. Okay, do you understand this? I think most of you do. Insurance challenges. The insurance industry doesn't know how to deal with this yet. I have good friends, friends, who are in the insurance industry. And as a result, they don't know how to deal with this yet. They're in meetings right now. They're discussing this. What if a driver falls asleep, sets up the autonomous feature, and they kill people at a school zone? Who pays for this? Does Tesla pay for this? Does the person's own insurance pay for this? These are situations that have yet to be discussed. And I'm going to bring you more content on this. Long-term reliability. We all love the Teslas. We can go back to 2010, 2009. I have videos where I've talked about the Teslas. And they have proven reliability. But you need to be educated. You need to test the battery. Look at me. When I went to Houston, Texas, I got all excited. I was getting ready to rent a Tesla. My wife said, slow down, stop, S-T-O-P. That costs too much. As a result, I made another video. If I would have got the Tesla from the airport in Houston, Texas, I would have been able to drive it, okay, to Prairie View, but at the hotel I was staying at, they had chargers, but they were not hooked up. I would have been screwed. So I had to calm myself. My wife had to slow, S-L-O-W, me, M-E, down, D-O-W-N. So I got caught up in the hype, okay? But yet in Texas on 290, we saw a lot of Tesla charging stations. We saw beautiful Teslas. So when you decide to make that jump to a Cybertruck, you have to make sure, are there charging stations in my area? How long do I have to wait? And how much is it going to cost me? It is important to note that these challenges are not exhaustive. And ongoing research and development needs to be done. What about applying that autonomous technology to the city, to the hood, to the suburbs? What about people in the country? Are we going to have charging stations out there? Probably not. Are we going to have charging stations in the hood, H-O-O-D? Probably not. We have charging stations on the outside perimeter of metro areas because those people can afford a higher end vehicle. But there are going to be people who are innovative, like you and me, that middle schooler, that high schooler, people who love building cars, who are going to buy a wrecked Tesla, who are going to retrofit that battery into a gas-powered car, who are going to get those motors out, weld them in, and hack into that system. Sorry, Elon. They're going to hack into that system, and they're going to make their own custom car. I can see it happening. There are people on the internet already doing this. So it's going to be challenging, but it's going to mean opportunities. If I were you right now, I would try to buy a used Tesla, get it as cheap as possible. I would reverse engineer the Tesla. I would learn about the charging system. I would learn how much reserve power does this battery have. If it says 200 miles, but I'm only getting 150, some of your cells have deteriorated. What if a person overcharges this? Do you know there have been Ford Lightnings that have been charging and they have caught on fire? And what you don't know is, and this is on the news, you can look it up, a lot of fire departments don't put out that electrical fire. They let it get to a nuclear level, they let it spike up, then they put it out. Okay, so you spent 60 to 80,000 on your new Ford Lightning, and I know I have a lot of Ford purists here, but the Cybertruck destroyed the Ford Lightning in towing and pulling and other elements. I love technology. I'm going to do more research on this Lightning. I'm going to do more research on the Cybertruck, and I'm going to bring you more high quality information. And my dad was an electrician, so I had that DNA in my system, electrical. I am a driver's ed instructor. I have that transportation in my DNA. I am a gamer. I love building computers, and I know there are millions of you who are here who love it too. So I will bring you the best quality content I can to tie in transportation, to tie in the Cybertruck, and by me living in a metro area, there's some great things that I can bring you. So I want to keep it real with you. I want to encourage you to embrace the technology, but we got to hold on. We got to bring it to the city, to the people who are middle, low income. We've got to bring it to the younger people. How come we don't have a Tesla here in the laboratory? How come that Cybertruck is not here at a school, right? Elon connect with the schools, and Elon is about education, the power brick, SpaceX, the Tesla, the different models. So this technology will come. Could it be 5 years from now, 6 years from now? It will come. We've been talking about this Cybertruck for 2 years. That's 2 years too long. And I know it takes testing. I've been there before, where you get in the vehicle, you drive it on a particular course, you put 300 miles on there. I've been in vehicles like that. I can't tell you the specifics, but I've been in 2026s, 2027s, 2028s. They will pay you to drive that experimental or manufacturer's vehicle, but we have to sign an agreement. We can't tell you specifically what's going on. But I like the design of the Cybertruck. There are challenges. Cars have to meet CAFE fuel standards. Okay, this is why you see 4-cylinder turbos, 6-cylinder turbos. This is why you see a hybrid mix. I tell you this because I'm an enthusiast, and I tell you this because I want you to be safe out here. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you, LOVE. Thank you. It's been a blessing. Give me feedback. Also, I have a podcast called Driving with Myles, MYLES. It is on Spotify. I need you to follow, leave comments, and I will be having a podcast on the autonomous Tesla, the Cybertruck, and I want to say thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye.